I did finish The Intruder by Frieda McFadden, and it was very meh. Um, I think this will have spoilers, so don't continue watching if you plan on reading this book. If you have read the book, let me know what you think about it. The ending with it basically ending on like somewhat of a cliffhanger because this whole time she didn't even know who the dad was. And then the little girl, well, not the little girl, the girl was like, "Oh, yeah, you want to see a picture of my dad?" And she was like, "Yeah." Just for it to turn out that her dad is Casey's childhood crush, almost probably love of her life. And then it ended like that. And then you get a random perspective, or not perspective, but you get a random POV of Lee, and Lee is like visiting because he's like, "Oh, we don't know what he's doing for 2 hours out of his day. Is he going to work? Like, we don't know." Find out he's visiting his brother, who is, I think how you pronounce it is Anton. Um, Turns out his brother is away in prison for life, and he doesn't want to let his daughter know that he actually is alive, and that he's just in prison for the rest of his life. And that's how it ended. And also the fact that Lee was like, "Oh, I'm falling in love with Casey. You know, I always had a crush on her even when I was younger." And then he wanted to ask his brother for his blessing to, go out with the girl from their childhood. And then it just ends. He's like, "Well, I'm not gonna ask him now." I understand why he wouldn't. He finds out he has a daughter. He doesn't want to tell his daughter that he is alive. But the book just felt very, mind you. Okay, I would say though, when it switched and you learned that you actually had been, it was actually also confusing because when you switched and realized that Ellie and Casey were the same person, and you basically was reading her childhood, because I thought we were going back to the girl that was like the intruder, Eleanor. I thought that was her POV, but it wasn't. It was Ellie's, who was Casey. I was like, wait, what? I was confused by that. But overall, I would give the book, I think on my Kindle Unlimited, I think I gave it like a 3.5. On my Goodreads, I gave it like I think I gave it like, 3.5, 2.5 or 3.5. Leaning more like 3.5 because it was good, but in the writing style, it just felt like repetitive in some cases. It felt like it was over explaining the thoughts of